Hello there. In this video, I'm going to present you the 4 reading strategies that we use while reading a text and doing some tasks related to it. These reading strategies are namely previewing and predicting, skimming, scanning, and guessing vocabulary. As a reader, you can either use each strategy separately according to the nature of the text or according to your purpose, or you can use them together if you think that it is more effective. So, let's get started with the first one, previewing and predicting. Previewing is a quick look at the important elements in a text, and predicting is guessing what is to come. Previewing and predicting are two essential reading skills that you can use before you start a unit or read a text. A quick preview of the key elements of a unit or text can help you predict what it might be about. And this helps you get an overall picture, remember what you already know about the subject, and understand the text better. There are some ways to apply this strategy in a useful way. Now, let's have a look at those ways. Firstly, you can read the title, headings, and subheadings before you start reading the text. Or if there are any visuals, such as pictures, graphs, tables, and illustrations, you can analyze them. You can also look at the types of the tasks and exercises given with the text. And finally, you can make predictions about what you are going to read in the text or unit. In order to practice this skill or this strategy, you can find a reading book around you and have a quick look at the parts of the book and try to predict what the book is about and the things in the book. The second strategy is skimming. What is skimming? Skimming is high-speed reading to get a general idea or gist of a text. Skimming helps you to find out what the text is about, how it is organized, and what the tone and purpose of the writer is. You can also identify the main ideas in a text by skimming. Skimming is especially useful when there's a lot to read, but there is limited time. Or you need to locate the relevant or necessary information in a long text, article, chapter, or even a book. How can we apply this strategy in a beneficial way? Here are the answers. Firstly, you shouldn't read every word. Instead, you can keep your eyes moving over the text. Or you can read the title, headings, and subheadings quickly, of course. Another way is to go over the introduction or the first paragraph. Or you can go over the first and last sentences of each paragraph. Another way is that if there are any diagrams and illustrations and even captions for them, you can have a look at them. You can also go over the last paragraph because the last paragraph gives you a lot of information about the text. Another way is to look at the sources, if given, of course, or focus on the content words rather than the function words. Finally, you can check the type of language in the text. In other words, does the writer use formal, informal, academic, or other types of language? Let's now try to practice the skimming strategy in this text. Now, please stop the video and skim the text in about 30 seconds to answer the following questions. But don't forget to resume the video after you're done, of course. Okay, now I assume that you have answered the questions. Let's see what we have done. For the first question, when you read the first and last sentences, you see that the paragraph is about Argungu Fishing Festival. As for the second question, when you quickly go over the paragraph and focus on the content words, you see some information about its history, what people do in it, the price, and the rules. Therefore, the writer's purpose is probably to give information about this festival. For the last question, when you quickly go over the paragraph, focus on the content words, and look at the photo even, you see that it's a traditional fishing festival in Nigeria, but not very famous. To do further practice for this skill, you can go to the Reading Strategies book, pages 3 and 4. Let's now move on to the third strategy, which is scanning. What is scanning? Scanning is reading quickly to find specific information such as numbers, names, words, places, or dates in any kind of text. Please note that scanning increases your reading speed and flexibility. How does this strategy help us? Firstly, if you skim the text when you see it for the first time, you will know where to look when you need some information from the text. Secondly, if you are scanning for a name or place, you can scan or you can look for words with capital letters. Similarly, if you are looking for dates, percentages, time, and so on, you can look for numbers. Finally, it's a good idea to find a keyword in the question, and this keyword will help you find the required information in the question. If you want to do some practice about this strategy, you can go to the book Reading Strategies, pages 5 to 9. The fourth and the last reading strategy is guessing vocabulary. Knowing vocabulary is very important while reading, but sometimes there will be words that you may not know. But if it does not limit your comprehension of the text, which means that you can still understand the text without those words, you can just ignore them. And you can just read past them. Now, please look at the sentence in the box here. Study the sentence and read past the words or phrases in bold. In some traditional Japanese hotels, visitors sleep on the floor on a futon mattress, which is spread over the tatami floor mat. Can you understand the sentence without the bold words? I think the answer is yes. But what if you don't understand the text without the words? In such a case, there are usually two options. One way to deal with it is to look up the word in a dictionary. But this may take time, or this may not be possible in an exam situation. The other way is to guess the meaning from the context, which is more feasible in most cases. But please note that you should always check the dictionary to make sure that your guess is correct and you understand the use and collocations of the word. Guessing the meaning of unknown vocabulary is a very important skill for reading because it helps you to understand texts better and increases your reading speed. In most texts or sentences, there are many contextual clues that can help you to guess the meaning of words. The most common ones are given in this presentation, and now we will have a look at them together. Punctuation is the first one, and some types of it are given here, like commas, brackets, etc. There's an example sentence. Let's read it together. The bridal shower is customarily, between dashes, traditionally organized by the bride's sister or her best friend. So, with the help of our clue here, we can understand that customarily means traditionally. The second way to guess vocabulary is looking for definitions and descriptions of some unknown words in a text. They are usually given with the verbs such as be called, etc. Let's have a look at an example. There are two sentences here. Let's read them. The Scottish national costume for men is a kind of skirt. It is called a kilt. As you can see here, our clue is called, and thanks to that clue, we understand that kilt is the Scottish national costume for men, or in other words, the Scottish skirt for men. Using linkers is another way to guess vocabulary in a text. There are many linkers with different meanings and structures, but some common ones are and, or, but, so, and also. Let's read the example sentence here. In some cultures, rice is thrown at a wedding as it is an ancient symbol of prosperity or wealth. Our clue here is or, and in this sentence, the synonym of the word is given with the linker or. So we understand that prosperity means wealth. Please note that we usually use or with a comma when we are giving the synonym of the previous word. So, in this case, prosperity, comma, or wealth means that comma or gives us the synonym of prosperity. Another clue is exemplification. There are some structures that we use to introduce examples, such as, for example, for instance, to illustrate, etc. We also use the abbreviation EG to introduce an example. Here we have a sentence. Let's read the sentence. Sacred places like Mecca and Jerusalem are commonly visited by Muslims and Jews for religious purposes. As you can see here, sacred probably means religiously important or holy places because the examples Mecca and Jerusalem are given. Explanation or reformulation is another clue, and we use it with the structures like in other words, that is, or i.e. Let's look at the example sentences here. On the final night of the festival, there is a big feast. That is, people have a large special meal all together. So, with the help of that is here, we understand that feast means a large special meal eaten with other people. Synonyms and antonyms of the words can also be used as clues. Let's have a look at the example here. Joe was hesitant about asking Katie for a date because he was unsure if she liked him. From this sentence, we understand that the synonym of the word hesitant is used in order to explain it. So, we can understand that hesitant probably means unsure or uncertain. Context is another very important clue while guessing vocabulary. What is context? Context is mainly information around the word. Also, some information is repeated within the context, so we can use it as a clue to understand some unknown vocabulary. Let's have a look at the example here. Herons have sharp eyes that function as color filters. They easily detect fish below the surface of water, fly over that area, and then dive down to catch the fish. When we read this short paragraph, We have information about herons. We may not know what herons are, but when you read the information, like sharp eyes, they can detect fish, fly, catch the fish, etc., we can understand that a heron is a kind of bird that has good eyesight and feeds on fish. Finally, words part of speech or their different forms can also be used as a clue to guess vocabulary. Let's have a look at the example here. The film had an unpredictable ending. Everybody was expecting the hero to be saved, but he died. It was a shock for the audience. As you can see here, knowledge of word forms like the root of the word, which is predict, and suffix able and prefix un, give us information about the word. So unpredictable is an adjective with a negative meaning. Also, information around the words such as save, died, shock makes us understand that unpredictable probably means not expected or not predicted. This is the end of the presentation. If you want to do some more practice or see more examples, you can go to the book Reading Strategies, pages 10 to 13 for extra examples and 13 to 17 for some practice.